Oh, yo, yo, what is up? It is the Practical Aggressive coming back at you with a new video. Today we're talking about the tariffs and why tariffs are stupid. But you got clickbaited. I don't think tariffs are stupid, honestly. I think there's this one congresswoman, she said it precisely. You can use tariffs as a scalpel, not as a hammer, right? And the way Trump's using it is as a hammer, right? And before we get into what Trump, usually I let Trump talk first, but I just want to point you to this private sector establishment jobs, right? When Trump took office right here, as you can see, it's been downhill, right? So that completely debunks what Trump's going to say. But I'm just going to let Trump speak for himself. Great cut. Look at that. We're learning how to cut here, but let's see what Donald Trump's got to say.
The tariff, the more likely it is to have them come into
The
the
higher
country.
the tariff, the more you're going to put on the value of that piece, those goods, the higher people are going to have to
Ready?
pay in shops.
True.
Ready? The higher the tariff, the more likely it is that the company will come into the United States and build a factory in the United States so it doesn't have to pay the tariff.
That will take many, as you know, that will take many years.
True. This guy's speaking, right? So it will take many years, right? And if you see, this is the unemployment rate for this year. It has only gone up. Donald Trump took office here at about January, right here. It was 4%. It's only gone up, right? If you are trying to bring jobs back to America, why is unemployment going up, right? And this is what he claims that his tariffs are trying to help do, right? And before people like try to paint me as disingenuous, I know that first of all, look at that. Look at that peak in COVID, right? But I know that relatively speaking, we are at a good point economically, right? But that was true before Donald Trump came into office, and people were talking about how terrible the economy was, right? But if we look, he came in, unemployment was 4.1. You wanted around 4%, so that was beautiful. And we're ending the year at 4.4, which is not massive, but that's still thousands of jobs that people are laying out, right? With a president that said he is going to bring back jobs, that clearly is not showing, right? And when you keep on doing these tariffs, when you keep on, making things more expensive, you're devaluing the dollar too, which has clearly been seen throughout his whole presidential term, right? And if we go over here, this is inflation, right? People told Donald Trump when he came into office, higher tariffs will cause inflation, right? He comes in January, right? Well, it says okay at 3%, right? They wanted it down at 2% before the year ended, and he got it down to 2.7. Well, he didn't get it down, but right, and he wants to cut the interest rates, by the way, but that's a whole nother discussion, right? But he goes from 3% down to 2.7, and you're saying, well, why is that? Like, if he's posing all these tariffs and there's so many tariffs that are going about, why is there no inflation? It doesn't look like there's any inflation. Dustin, the practical progressive, what are you doing, bro? You're wrong, dude. You're wrong, dude. You're just wrong. Well, let me show you something. Because all the tariffs, or a lot of the tariffs that Donald Trump has been talking about, he has flip-flopped on, right? He's either significantly reduced the amount that we put the tariffs on, or he's just outright said, no, we're not going to do it anymore, right? There's a 10% baseline tariff on all other countries, and that's about it, right? So you can see through April all the way till the rest of the year, he has just flip-flopped on every single, well, not every single one, but a lot of the ones, especially coming from Liberation Day and the China tariffs that he set up to 175%, I believe, right? And this has done a lot of negative reimplications. But for the most part, what we're talking about now is, why is there no inflation? Well, there is inflation. It's just on the certain sectors that have been infected by the tariffs the most. The ones that are feeling it the most are usually grocery stores: Costco, Best Buy, Shark Ninja, all these other brands that come from retail, Walmart, obviously Nike, right? A lot of these stores that get their stuff from overseas and come here are the ones that you will feel the most, and the ones that I will feel the most, and these companies will feel the most, right? So there is inflation. It's not high inflation like we thought it was going to be, but that's because Donald Trump is chickening out on most of the tariffs that he implemented because he knows it's a bad idea, right? And even with all that, there are still brands that are going to raise their prices, just like how oil companies raised their prices during the corona pandemic, because they knew that people would pay more for it. So with the combination of price gouging plus the valid actual excuse that Donald Trump is raising prices for a lot of these companies, then you have the blend that can increase inflation for the next couple of years, where we wouldn't have had that inflation if Donald Trump did not do all these things for no reason. But he has a second reason, right? It wasn't just to bring jobs back to America, which he claimed. He also claimed it was going to help him create more trade agreements with other countries.
President, on
Take
tariffs,
it away, Donald.
what happened to 90 trade deals in 90 days? As people
Oh,
are
we've spoken to everybody. We know it's all done.
Well, state
I told
agencies,
you, we'll make some deals, but for the most part, we're going to send a letter. We're going to say, welcome to the United States. If you'd like to participate in the greatest, most successful.
Right. So he's just lying, by the way. There is no trade deals that have been done under Trump's second term. No, like formal trade deals where they sit down and write all the shit, right? None of that has happened right now. So he's just lying, but let's continue.
Country ever. I mean, we're doing better than ever. We have, I don't think, and you're going to see these numbers soon. We've never had numbers like this. We've never had investment like this. We have more than 90. We're going to have much more than 90, but most of those are.
Okay, right. Like we just said, he has not made any trade deals, right? And where are our allies that are making these trade deals? I think he had a framework with Britain, right? But other than that, none of these countries have came forward and made trade deals. So who are they making trade deals with, right? They're making trade deals with China. Why is my goat Mark Connie sitting there with G right now? With Z, whatever the fuck his name is, right? Why is my goat Mark Connie sitting here? Look at him. He's as happy as could be right now, trading with China right now, because that's how insufferable America is right now. They'd rather trade with this fuck instead of Donald Trump. And that, I think that says volumes, right? And when he talks about investment, this I just want to show you this from 2014 to 2024. This is annual foreign direct investment in the United States, right? From 2016 to 2021, who was in power during this time where we see a massive fallout in American investment? I think there was a president. I can't remember. He was really orange, really fat, ugly. I can't remember, but there was a president during this time. Why the fuck should I believe you that you're gonna bring investment into America when that clearly has just not happened, right? Um, I want to show you this real quick, right? This chart shows countries that could actually pay the alleged amount that they're investing in America. It's like only three. A lot of these pledges that these countries have made, like Switzerland, South Korea, right? These countries are not doing this. They are playing you like a fiddle, Donald. They are not doing this, bro. They are not. I guarantee it. Clip this, throw it in a year from now. We are getting no traded deals. No new investments going to come in America. We might get less investment coming into America because this guy has no idea how economics works. For someone who has done business for all of his life, he has no idea how tariffs work, no idea how economics works. He doesn't know practically anything, it seems like, right? And this has screwed us in many ways, right? It's just ridiculous. I've never seen someone show so lack of any self-awareness, any integrity, knowledge. He's not even pretending. Like a politician usually pretends to know stuff. He doesn't even pretend to know anything, right? So he just sits there and he lies, and people just eat it up, right? And I just want to end it with what Donald Trump says here, because I think this is indicative of everything that's been happening.
If you want to play ball, you have to. This is what you have to pay. So
If you want to play ball, this is what you have to pay. And it seems like some countries aren't willing to pay the obnoxiously high tax that Donald Trump thinks that he can spray on the world just because he's the president of the most powerful country on earth right now. I really hope that in the next 4 years, nothing catastrophic happens in America. Because if we are not the global superpower, the amount of rage baiting and just absolute buffoonery that will happen in this country, not being able to bully everybody else around us around like we do, will just be insane. But in conclusion, everything that Donald Trump has done with tariffs is absolutely stupid. It has helped neither the economy nor our trade partners like he claimed it would. It is hurting me and you. It is hurting us while making him richer, while making the government richer. And where they put all this money from tariffs, we don't even know yet. And we're going to probably figure that out. That might be the next video I do. But if you like the video on tariffs, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what I could be doing better. Tell me what I could be doing worse. I feel like I'm getting better each video. And I will see every single one of y'all later. And peace.